As the statistics you have just seen show, and as anyone working in adult education knows, a large number of adults in our country can't read well enough to cope with the print in their everyday lives. The percentage is even higher in Philadelphia and even higher in our large prison and ex-offender population. Listen as some of my students explain how not being able to read has impacted their lives.
Without knowing how to read, it's hard to move around. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to do anything, you know. If you have family that's there for you, they help you. You know, only way I kept a job is behind my brothers, my cousins. The young ladies I dealt with, I would tell them they would help me. You know, It gets difficult. You know, you see things, you want to know what it is, or just going out to a restaurant, taking someone out, taking your friend out for dinner.
It was frustrated, hard, because I'd be struggling with the words and people used to laugh at me, and I shut down. I went to different programs and stuff like that, but I didn't feel comfortable. I mean, what I mean by comfortable, they made me feel like I wasn't nothing, like I wasn't worth nothing, you know, because they knew more than what I knew.
Getting up in the morning, saying I'm getting up to go look for a job. And then when you get to the office, when the paperwork is in front of you and you don't know what to pull, it's very, very stressful and painful.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say, then what am I, living for when I cannot do what I need to do for myself? It was hard for me.
Ever since I was little, I've been getting by on pure luck. My basic point was coming up with to figure to get involved with somebody that they could read. I already had street knowledge a while, so I could make it in the streets. I could, I could always keep a job as long as I knew how to work with my hands. I could read a ruler, I can count, and know a few words, and that's how I got by. If I had to go to the bank or something like that, I would take my brother or my wife with me. Coming up, I would, give responsibility to my girlfriends. If I had to go somewhere in the city, I would do a test run before I get there. Find out where the place at, then I would go. All that kind of stuff. I had to fill out papers. Even for application for a job, I would put the people on hold. I would say, I'll be right back, and run all the way home. I worked at the International House. I ran from the International House of 38th and Chestnut all the way home to my mother's house for them to fill the application out for me real quick, and ran back to the job and got back in line.
I don't know how far this will go, but I'd like to thank my family for sticking with me through these years. Not everybody in my family, because I have a big family, knows my problem. My nieces and nephews that do know, they stuck with me all this time to read my mail, help me with my driver's license, help me with different things that I have, and got me to this point. I'm really grateful to them.
Yeah.
Really am.
Many adults who can't read hide that from everyone around them and have long since given up on the idea that they will ever be readers. If they do come out to try one more time, if they get the courage together, we don't have much to offer them. I think it's seen as too time-consuming, maybe too expensive, or even impossible for them to learn to read. What generally happens if they do come out and ask for help is they're sent to an ABE class or they're given to a tutor to work with. ABE classes are intended for people who can read 3rd to 5th grade level. So if you put a beginning reader in there, there's no way they can cope with the work. There's no way the teacher can get to that student with what the student needs to begin to learn to read. So both of them end up feeling like a failure and frustrated. And this is something the beginning reader doesn't need one more time in their lives. There's nothing inherently wrong with using tutors with poor readers or non-readers, but generally those tutors are not trained in the methods needed to efficiently and effectively teach a beginning reader. In fact, many teachers are not trained well, and I had a master's in reading. I'm a certified reading specialist, and I had no idea what to do with my middle school students who couldn't read. From looking at the research, it makes sense that the best hope for adults in this situation is to focus on developing their phonemic and decoding skills as quickly as possible, so that they can then successfully join ABE classes. In this video, we're going to show you a simple model for teaching adult beginning readers that's reasonably quick, inexpensive, and fun. Our model is based on this premise. To learn to read, non-reading adults need to understand that written English is a fairly regular code where letters and combinations of letters represent sounds. It seems that 4 out of 5 people get this without being directly taught, and they'll learn to read regardless of the instructional method. But 1 person in 5 needs to be explicitly taught how the letters correspond to sounds, or they'll forever be trying to memorize whole words or guessing words from context. They'll never feel like they're comfortable with reading or confident about their reading. These are the students I taught in my middle school classrooms who came in for remedial work, and at an E3 center for 16 to 22-year-olds who are out of school and trying to get their lives back on track. And these are the adults who come in who are beginning readers or very poor readers. The thing we want them to know, that they need to know, is that this is an issue of instructional method, not intelligence. And the good news is that decoding or phonics or sounding out words, whatever you want to call it, can be learned at any age by anyone if they're properly taught. My students who have come out for classes have a range of goals that make trying one more time worth it for them, and also make it worth it for us to offer these classes to them.
Sometimes my kids, they go to school, the later teacher sent to me, I don't know how reading, I don't know how I'm writing. The kids, they do maybe something wrong, I don't know how I'm saying to, I don't know anything, but I want to learn for my kids.
My future depends on it. My work depends on it. I have to learn how to read better as a contractor, as a grandfather, help my granddaughter, and, be there for my wife and make things better for my family. My learning how to read is very important for me right now.
I'm Bekhamai Muharjan. I'm from Nepal. I didn't go to school in my country, and then my dream is I want to be read and write really good, because my parents in my family nobody is good reading. That's why I want to help for my family to read.
Sit down and read stories to my grandkids when they ask me certain things, and started feeling embarrassed because I can't do it. And it hurts me that I have to send them to other people to help my kids, my grandkids, or my son that's 15 years old.
I'm learning English so I can go back to my country and become a business person. That's the reason why I go to school. I want to be able to have my own business in my future for my family and my kids.
One reason I like to learn how to read is to learn how to read my Bible, my mail, and other things, and also become more independent than what I am now.